We are going to be going to someone who have grown to admire his work and respect. His name is Darl Mookey Wade. Mookey, how are you, sir?
Not too bad, sir. How are you?
I am wonderful. Folks,
Yeah.
Mookey is a web developer, and I think no one is better to really talk to us about this next topic, our first major topic that Mookey will have 10 minutes to cover or less. 8 steps to starting and running a successful e-commerce website. Over to you, sir.
Okay. Well, first of all, can everybody hear me? Anthony, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you so much, Anthony. Thank you, JerkFest, to the whole team for having me. I'm excited to be a part of this event. My name is Mookey, as Anthony said. I run a company called Mookey Media, and we're a small business that specializes in videography and web design. You know, during the pandemic, we've seen a lot of things happen with a lot of businesses. Some have shut down, some have grown exponentially, and we've been at the forefront of helping businesses kind of shift their services online. So my purpose today is to give 8 topics, 8 steps to starting an e-commerce website and running a successful e-commerce website. So if you have any questions, I'm like Anthony said, I'm going to be finished in probably about 10 minutes. I'm going to try and run through this information pretty quick. So if you have your pens and paper, write it down. If you don't have any questions, or if you can't remember anything, like, you know, you can email me, you know, apart from this, and Anthony will give the information for that.
Absolutely. So, we're going to be posting in the chat our links where persons can reach out to you, Mookey, at the end, and as well share your resources with persons who might be so interested. So go ahead, sir.
All right, no problem. All right, so I'm going to start with my first slide here. So step 1, you need to create a plan. Things do not work without a plan. You know, your plan is your roadmap to your success. And there's many things that I can talk about a plan, but I'll give you 3 things to focus on. So if you have your product, you want to focus on your quality. You want to have your product must be valuable. What are you selling? It has to be valuable, because the thing is, if anybody sees your product and it's not of quality, they're going to be going through Google reviews and they're going to share that, you know, it wasn't of great quality. So you're going to lose sales right there. Number 2, you need to focus on your target market. Who are you selling to? You need to understand your customer base. You need to understand your demographic. Number 3, you need to research the competition. Know who your competition is, understand the pricing, understand what is going on with the price comparisons. You know, if you're selling oxtail for $25.99 and then the other person is selling oxtail for $16.95 down the street for a small, you know, you're going to be losing business there. So you want to make sure that you understand what industry you're in and how much it costs to be in that industry and what the price comparisons are. And that brings me to my next point, which is count the cost of being in that industry. You know, one of the most asked questions that people ask, one of the first questions that people ask me rather, is how much does an e-commerce website cost? And my answer is always the same. It really depends. You know, it's kind of like asking me, how much is a house? I don't know. Like, what kind of house do you want? Do you want 4-bedroom? Do you want 5-bedroom? Do you want 6-bedroom? It really depends. But you really have to understand the cost versus the investment. You know, having an e-commerce website is an investment. Why? Because you're in a billion-dollar industry. There's billions and billions and billions of dollars being spent each and every single year for people putting their orders through on e-commerce websites. You know, in 2020, approximately 30 billion was spent through e-commerce websites in Canada. And in 2019, it was 25 billion that was spent overall. So as the years go by, the amount of revenue that is being made in e-commerce business and the amount of money that people are spending through e-commerce avenues, it's being increased. So this is really a prime location. You know, if you think about where you want your store to be, you want it to be on Eglinton, Do you want it to be in Mississauga? You want it to be on Yonge Street downtown? To be honest, I'm suggesting to you guys right now that online is the place to be. On the internet is the place to be right now. You cannot afford to not be on there. You want to think about the mental cost. You want to think about the time that's going to take you to do these things. You know, as a business owner, I know that a lot of you wear a lot of hats. You're doing your accounting, you're doing your operations, you're focusing on sales, you're the marketing, you're the HR. There's a lot of things to focus on as a business owner. And, you know, for e-commerce websites, you don't want to be having to figure out where your you know, what button to place here and what button to place there. And this really brings me to my next point, which is you need to hire a professional. And this is where I'm going to put my hand up and put my little shameless plug here. Hire us. You know, and the reason why you want to hire a professional such as like us is we focus on UI and we focus on UX. And what does those things mean? UI is user interaction and UX is user experience. And those are the things we focus on. We're focusing on your customers. We're focusing on making sure that it's easy for them to navigate through those websites. We're making sure that they're not confused with where to go. We know exactly what colors to use. We know what things to do in order to help people get the information that is needed to them so that you can sell your services better. Another thing that we focus on is delivering results. You know, what are your goals? What are your business goals? Do you want to increase your sales by, you know, 10%? Do you want to, you know, have a great return on investment? Those are the things that we focus on. And we understand those things because we understand the things that you need. So step 4, as I talk about the things that you need, 3 of the things that you need are what I call the big 3. So you're going to need your domain name, and your domain name is your company name or your website address. So my domain name is www.mookeymedia.com. That's another shameless plug. You're going to need hosting, and your hosting is basically where you add your website space and your website files. So if you ever heard of GoDaddy, if you ever heard of Bluetooth Host, those are hosting companies that you put your website files in, and they host all of your files. You're going to need a CMS. So CMS is Content Management System. So if you ever heard of WordPress, Shopify, BigCommerce, Squarespace, Wix, these are all CMS, Content Management Systems. And some of these content management systems they actually have hosting embedded with them. So you can kind of get everything all in one. And as a matter of fact, Mookey Media, we do all 3. We offer domain names, we host for you, and we can kind of install these CMS, any one of these ones for you. Depending on which one you need, it really depends on what you're trying to do. You know, WordPress, Shopify, those are 2 of the most used platforms out there for e-commerce right now. And sorry about that. And any one of those would work for you. So as I go to my next slide here, step 5, you need to set up your merchant account. And your merchant account is basically how you collect your funds on your website. And there's 2 types of merchant accounts. There's aggregate merchant accounts and there's traditional merchant accounts. And aggregate merchant accounts are kind of like PayPal, Stripe. These are merchant accounts that you can kind of sign up with. You can get started very quickly. There's not too much of a long process. They're usually about 2.9% for transaction fees. And the thing about them is that they have their own proprietary refund policy, return policy. So that will be something that you would have to kind of think and look over and think if it makes sense for you. One thing that I should distinguish is you can also talk to your local bank, TD. You can actually talk with Kamisha there about merchant accounts and how it can work best for you. I know just based off experience, if you're making $10,000 a month, less than $10,000 a month, then going with 2.9% is not too bad. If you're going to start making more over $10,000 a month, then you probably need to start talking to your bank and making sure that you can get a lower rate there and save some money. And also you can determine your own refund policies and your own return policies and whatnot. And this leads me to step 6, which is setting up your shipping and delivery terms. Now, this is very important to set up because this is what's going to drive your business. If you cannot ship in time, if you cannot deliver your goods in time, your business is not going to grow. So you need to really focus on this area here. So you need to know your size, know the size and weight of your products. You need to map out where you will be shipping to, things to consider, especially for international shipping. You really need to consider transport, fees, currency conversions, duties, taxes, and other associated costs. And you need to determine the type of rate that you're going to charge your customers. So, think about whether you're going to do a flat rate. Think about whether you want to do calculated shipping. Think about whether you want to do free shipping. A lot of people, when they hear free shipping, that kind of, ticks something in their head and they get drawn towards something like that. So that's another thing that you can think about. Another thing that I can suggest is try not to make profit off of shipping. It gets complicated, but that's a topic for another day. And step 7, this is one of my favorite things to talk about. And in celebration of JerkFest 20 years anniversary, I put together 20 ways to promote your site for free. So I want you guys to get your pen and paper out, take your phone out, screenshot this if you want. And again, these things can be sent to you later on if you want. So let's go and see what's going on here. So number 1, tell your friends and family about your website. Once the website's finished, your merchant account is up, your shipping is ready to go, start telling your friends and your family about your website. You have to. That's the only way that your website is going to grow. When people know about it, they will go to it, they will buy stuff. Blog posts, start doing blog posts, start doing guest blog posts, try to post on other people's websites, try to write articles that about your product in order to kind of expand the maximum exposure for your website. Create content for your website, videos, photos, hand out business cards. Do not go anywhere without your business cards. Make sure that you're handing them out everywhere and make sure that your website is on them. Create a YouTube channel. Creating a YouTube channel can be very, very beneficial. I can tell you for myself, when I started my business, I started it off with doing wedding videography. And when I used to put my videos up, I used to see the analytics on who was watching the videos. And I saw that there was about 80% women watching my videos. So I started catering more of my marketing to brides and showing them the benefits of having a wedding video. And that's when I saw my business start growing more exponentially because I was able to target my market by seeing the analytics on the back end of YouTube. So YouTube is a very good tool to have. So after YouTube, we have email marketing. We have submit to free local directories, Facebook groups, submit to media outlets, try to get in a newspaper. Post your website to Kijiji. I know I used to do that. I used to find a lot of clients through Kijiji just by writing to people or posting my ad and people just emailing me back. Use TikTok, Instagram. These are great ways to post your stuff. Facebook, Snapchat, signature branding. Make sure that when you have your email, you put your website right at the bottom that says www.mycompany.com. And so when you email people, people will see that website right there. They click to it. Pinterest, eBay, Etsy, Amazon, sell your products on there as well. That's a big one. I know Etsy is a big one. My wife keeps talking about it, to be honest. And I've gone on it. There's a lot of things going on in there. So I guarantee you, if you can put your products on there, you will get the return of customers coming to your site. Referrals, cold calls, print signs, door-to-door sales, and last but not least, networking events, just like this one. As I said again, thank you for putting this on, JerkFest.
Mookey, you, sorry to cut you. Those were some priceless gems you have shared. And I'm hoping that persons really will take advantage of the information that you have shared. We're almost out of time. That's the reason why I've interrupted. But go again, no shameless indeed plug needed. I'm telling you, the platform is open. Please go ahead and put forward where persons can find you in case they need your help in promoting or build a dynamic e-commerce website. Where can they find you?
You can always find me at mookeymedia.com. And I'll say this for the last few seconds. Step 8 is just focus on your customer service. It is very, very, very important. Very important. That will get you the return customers. But you can find me on mookeymedia.com, Facebook, Mookey Media, Instagram, Mookey Media, YouTube, Mookey Media, everything Mookey Media, Twitter, Mookey Media, just MOOKEYMEDIA, Mookey Media.
And one last thing before you go, one of our panelists here today asked a question. Promotion on Instagram or Facebook recommended. I guess the question is, which of them would you recommend? Instagram or Facebook? Quickly, in 15 seconds. In 15 seconds,
it depends on your target market. Where are your customers? Are they more on Instagram? You know, Instagram are used by a certain demographic, and Facebook is used by a certain demographic. So you need to understand what are you selling, who are you selling to, and then you can make your decision from there.
Wonderful. Mookey, I thank you. I appreciate you. And again, folks, if you need to reach Mookey, you can reach him on everything Mookey, as he has outlined. We're going to post in the chat as well. One of my technical crew will post your email and website address there for panelists, for attendees can actually get the information. I thank you, sir. Take care and God bless.
Thank you. Take care.